Hi and welcome to Happy Kitty Kitchen. Today we're making a pink sauce penne pasta dish. It's got chicken, it's got bacon, it's got sun-dried tomatoes, and it's going to be delicious, so stay tuned. As usual, detailed ingredients are at the end of the video and in the description box for you to screen capture and save. Feel free to leave out any ingredient that doesn't suit you and just have fun with it. It's food, it's supposed to be fun. We'll start out with seasoning our chicken first so that we can leave it to marinate a bit in the flavors while we're preparing everything else. So we're starting with 1 tablespoon of sweet smoked paprika, or plain paprika will do, a teaspoon of garlic powder, pinch of celery salt, half teaspoon of dried parsley, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and mix it all well to make sure each chicken piece is seasoned and set it aside. I had some veal strips in the fridge and I decided why not add that in there. So if you have any beef or bacon strips, lay them out in your pan on medium heat. In a pot on the side, we're going to start boiling our water, which we are going to cook the pasta in. So don't forget to add a generous amount of salt in the pasta water. Cover the pan that has the veal strips in to trap in some moisture so that they don't burn, and keep on checking in on them every 2 minutes or so. Once the veal or bacon starts to crisp on one side, flip them over to the other. In a small bowl, I have some sun-dried tomatoes that I will rehydrate by pouring boiling water on them and letting them soak for 10 minutes or more. Unfortunately, I did end up burning 2 veal strips, but that's okay because my dogs got to eat those and they enjoyed them very much. Now that the water in the pot has reached a boil, I'm going to add in my penne pasta, and I have about 2¼ cups of pasta here, even more because, don't judge me, I was hungry, so I went a bit overboard. Now, I'm going to deglaze the bacon fat that is stuck to my pan by adding in some water and scraping it off with a silicone spoon so as not to scratch the pan. This water now has more flavor due to the fat and the crisp. Then I'm going to throw in the chicken pieces in there and spread them out. I'll leave them to cook uncovered and undisturbed for about 2 minutes. Then I'm going to cover and trap moisture in for another minute. After that, I'm going to start flipping them over and moving them around to ensure that every side gets cooked. Because they are cut into smaller pieces of chicken, they'll only need about 2 to 3 more minutes to cook, and then they're done. You can always take the biggest piece of chicken and cut into it to check if it's cooked all the way through, and if it is, you're done. I set the chicken aside and I'm spraying olive oil on the pan, then throwing in my onions and tomatoes. I'm also going to add in some salt. At this point, my penne pasta was cooked, so I drained it from the pot and set it aside, and also I decided to switch to a bigger pan, or my wok to be exact, because it's just going to be easier to mix everything in there without anything spilling on the side, and also it distributes heat much better than my previous pan. The onions are slightly translucent and the tomatoes have slightly cooked down, so I'm going to add in some fresh cracked black pepper. You could cook it longer to soften it even more, but this was a good point for me to add in my mushrooms and mix everything together. Now I'm adding in tomato paste, about a heaped teaspoonful, and then mixing again. I'm pouring in the water that the sun-dried tomatoes were soaking in, and I'm cutting the sun-dried tomatoes into smaller pieces and throwing them in there. Sun-dried tomatoes have a smoky, salty, and tangy flavor that adds a nice flavor profile to the pasta, but if you don't have it, or if you don't like it, just make the dish anyway because it's still really good. I'm also adding in some tomato puree, about a cup. I would advise that you add in a bit more. I certainly wanted to, however this was all I had left. Give it a quick mix, then add in about a cup of heavy cream and mix some more, and watch the color of the sauce transform from red to a pinkish red, hence why it's called pink pasta. Give the sauce a taste to see if you are missing anything and adjust as you wish. At this point, I decided to add a sprinkle of oregano, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and give it all a mix and taste it again. If you're satisfied with the sauce, toss the chicken in there and mix. I decided I wanted to add in more heavy cream because I made way too much pasta and I knew the sauce is not going to be enough. Toss in the pasta and mix everything in there. Sprinkle some Parmesan cheese for extra salty goodness if you want, and you're done. Plate your pasta, top it with the bacon bits and some extra Parmesan cheese, garnish it with a basil, why not, just to make it look pretty and fancy, and start eating. I only added the bacon bits to my dish because other people in the house may not like it and they just want to stick to eating chicken. This pasta was delicious. However, I really do wish I had more sauce because the pasta soaked it all up. So if you're following this recipe or planning to make it, remember to make it saucier so it turns out even better than my dish. Thank you for making it this far into the video, and as usual, have a great day from Happy Kitty Kitchen. Bye!